Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the class. So, in this class of operation research, we'll do a very important concept. We'll discuss unbalanced maximization case in the case of transportation problem. So, whenever we solve the problems related to the transportation problem, you remember before we determine the initial basic feasible solution, I told you you have to make sure two things. One thing is that the total sum of supply should be equal to the total sum of demand. Here, if you see the total, this is demand. This is here in this case, if you see your total sum of supply, your total sum of supply is equal to that is 200. If you see the total sum of supply here, this is equal to 200. While if you see the total sum of demand, if you see the total sum of demand, that is equal to 150. So I told you that whenever we solve transportation problem, we need to make sure in the case of transportation problem, whenever we are solving, we need to that the total sum of supply should be equal to total sum of demand. Here, the total sum of supply is not equal to the total sum of demand. So you can see this, you can understand this is unbalanced transportation problem. If you see this, you'll understand this is unbalanced transportation problem. The total sum of supply is not equal to the total sum of demand. So this is basically by looking we can understand this is unbalanced transportation problem. Okay, so we have learned already. I have taught you that whenever you have unbalanced transportation problem, how you can make it balanced. So you'll add a dummy row or dummy column here. The because demand is less, so I'll add a dummy column of a value 50. So if I add a dummy column of a value 50, that way I'll make the total demand equal to 150 plus 50, and then it would be equal to the total sum of supply, which is equal to 200. So that I can do to make it as a balanced transportation problem. Then the next thing, if you understand from this problem, is the matrix, the element of the matrix, what you see here. So this is basically the case of maximization scenario. Here, if we see, this is the case of maximization scenario. So in this maximization case scenario, definitely the element what is there inside this matrix, definitely they would be somewhat responding to maybe profit, maybe they would be responding to revenue. So you can understand, because if the data is given in profit or revenue, then only your objective can be maximization. Here in this problem, you can see your objective is maximization. So definitely the element cannot be cost matrix. If the element would be of cost matrix, then your objective cannot be maximization, because with the cost we work on minimization. So I hope you are getting the crush of our discussion. What I'm trying to explain you, definitely this element should be a profit or revenue. What you can see in this problem. Again, I told you that whenever we solve transportation problem, then your objective function should always be minimization. Here in this case, your objective function, what is given in maximization. Okay, so what I need to do, guys, yesterday I did a case, same way in transportation problem, I did a case where I explained you that if your objective function is maximization here in transportation problem, if you are solving, and if you can see your objective function as a maximization, then you need to convert this maximal matrix into minima matrix. Okay, so this here you can see for this problem here, if you can see for this problem, your objective function is maximization. Here for this problem, you can see your objective function is maximization for this problem. So for this problem, the objective function is maxima matrix. So the objective function is maxima matrix. Your objective function is maxima matrix. Okay, so objective function is maximal, maximization, better word would be maximization, and the elements and the elements belong to the concept of maximization. So your objective function is maximization. So what I need to convert? So to determine the initial basic feasible solution, to determine the initial basic feasible solution, to determine the initial basic feasible solution, to determine the initial basic feasible solution. What I need to do, guys, to determine the initial basic feasible solution, I need to convert, I need to convert, I need to convert maxima matrix, I need to convert maxima matrix into minima matrix. Okay, because the if you see this concept in this question, the matrix what you see, this is of maximal elements are given. So what I need to do, guys, to solve this problem, I need to convert this maximum matrix into minima matrix. Okay, how will I able to convert the maximum matrix into minima matrix? I told you yesterday to convert the maximal matrix problem into minimal matrix problem, guys. What you need to do, you need to figure out the element which is maximum here. Okay, how yesterday I believe you remember, right? Yesterday we did the problem to convert the maximum matrix problem into minima matrix problem. So out of all the elements, you have to find the value which is maximal here. Out of all the values, you have to find the value which is maximal here. So the value what is maximal here is 44, right? So the value which is maximal here is 44, right? So you need to figure out the value which is maximal here. Okay, so you have to find that value which is maximal here. So whatever value you found which is maximal here, so what you need to do, guys, you need to subtract all the element of this matrix, all the element, you have to subtract all the element of this matrix from this maximal value. So thereby you can convert this maxima matrix into minima matrix. That is the way what you need to do in order to solve this problem. So in order to solve this problem, what you need to do, you need to convert the matrix, which is a maximum matrix problem. You need to convert this matrix problem, which is maximal matrix problem, into minimal matrix problem. How will you convert this maximal matrix problem into a minimum matrix problem? For that, you will find the element which is maxima here. So the element which is maxima here is 44. So what I'll do, I'll subtract all the element of this matrix from the 44. So thereby, I'll convert this maximal matrix problem into minimal matrix problem. So what I'll do, I'll convert this maximal matrix problem into minimal matrix problem by subtracting all the element of this matrix by 44. I hope you understanding. So what I need to do, because that is the way what we need to follow to convert this maxima matrix problem into minima matrix problem. So here the maximum element is 44. So what I'll do, I'll subtract all the element of this matrix from 44. Okay. So that is what we do. So this, if you see this, so if you subtract everything from 44, if you subtract everything from 44, so you can understand 44 minus 40 is 4. 44 minus 40 is 4. Then 44 minus 25, that would be 19, I guess so. 44 minus 25, that would be 19. Yeah. Then 44 minus 22, that would be 22. Okay. And then and then 44 minus 33, that would be 11. Then 44 minus 44, 0. 44 minus 35, 9. Then 44 minus 30 is 14. Then 44 minus 30 is 14. Then Then 44 minus 38 is 6. Is 6, 6. 44 minus 38, 38. Then 16. Then 16. Then 44 minus 30 is 14. So like this, you have to like this way. Now you converted this matrix into minimal matrix. Okay, here if you see your supply, your supply, if you see your supply, your supply, if you see your supply is 100, 130, 70, 100, 30, 70. And if you see your demand, so demand 40, 20. So 40, 20, 60, 40, 20, 60, and then 30. This is 150. This is 150. This is 150. This is 200. Again, you can see, guys, your total sum of supply is not equal to the total sum of demand. So A, B, C, D, P, Q, R. A, B, C, D, P, Q, R. Clear? So now, guys, if you notice in the problem, what I did, I converted the maximum matrix into minimum matrix. I converted the maximal matrix. I converted the maxima matrix into minimum matrix. Okay, I did that, but still this is unbalanced. You can see the total demand is 150 and the total supply is 200. So this is actually unbalanced. This is actually unbalanced minimum matrix. So what I need to do, I need to make it balanced. To make it balanced, what I'll do, I'll add a dummy column of value 50. Okay, so that total sum of supply become equal to the total sum of demand. So this is 406. This is 1996. This is 22, 14, 16. Then 22, 14, 16, then 11, 14, 14, then 11, 14, 14, 11, 14, 14, and then I added a dummy row, dummy column of values 0, 0, 0. So only purpose is to make total sum of supply equal to total sum of demand. So that is what is the reason why I'm added that. So you can see this is A, this is B, this is C, this is D, and this is E, the new column which I added, dummy column, and these are PQR, PQR. If you see the supply of this, so if you see the supply of this, supply is 100, 30, 70. Okay, so this would be 200. This is 50, then 30, then 60, then 20, then 40. Clear, everyone? So thereby your total sum of supply become equal to the total sum of demand. Anyone, any difficulty? So you need to make sure that transportation problem should be balanced, having an element should be minimization. If everything is up to the mark, then I can determine the initial basic feasible solution. So I'll try to determine the initial basic feasible solution by Vogel approximation method. I'll try to determine the initial basic feasible solution by a Vogel approximation method. So if I do like that, so if I follow a Vogel approximation method, so for that I need to determine the penalty. So P1, so here, so then this would be 4, then this would be 9, then this would be 6. Okay. Similarly, if I find the P1 column wise, this is 4, this is 3, this is 2, this is 3, this is 0. So the largest is 9. Out of all, the largest penalty is 9. So which one I'll do first? Allocation. I'll do the allocation of second row first. So you see the minimum element is 0. Supply is 30, demand is 40. So I'll put 30. If I put 30, if I put 30, this will become 10. This will be done. This will be done. This row, second row done. And then P2, this would be 4 only. No impact. This would be 6 only. And this P2 here, this would be 2. This would be 19 minus 6, 13. Then this would be 6. Then this would be 3. This would be 0. So the largest one is 13. The largest one is 13. If I do, the demand is 20. And so the largest one here is, okay, is this second column. In that the smallest element is 6. So demand is 20, supply 70. So I'll put 20 here. This will become 50. This is 4. Then this is dash. Then this is 6. Then this is P3. P3 is 2. Then this is done. This is done, right? Yeah, this would be 6. This would be 3. This would be 0. So the largest value is 6. You can take any 6. Suppose if I consider this 6. So you see the demand is 60. The smallest value is 16, right? So the supply is 50. So I can put 50 here. Put 50 here. The left one is 10. So this part is done. This is done. This would be 4. And this is 2, right? This is 2. This done. This is 22, right? So first, this is 22, right? So first I'll do the allocation of this. So this will be 10. So this is done. This will left is 90. So here this is still 4. This is done, right? This is done. Then the 6 is left, right? 6 is left. Okay, and here if you see here 2, this is done. Then this is done. Then this here is 11. This is 0. So the largest one is 11. So here, so the supply is 90, demand is 30. So I'll put 30 here. This left is 60. Now if you see first column 2, then first row 4, third row 6. So first I'll give allocation to the 6. Now if you see row wise, the first row is 4, then this is done, then this is done, this is 6. If you see column wise, this is 2, this is done, this is done, this is done, this is 0. So largest one is the all penalty, the largest value is 6. If I get inside this, the only value left is 10. One minute. So this was 10, no? If I see the demand, it was 40 and 10, right? So this row, if you see, this is 70 done now. It should have cancelled. Okay, this should not be any 6 here. So you can see here you'll put 10 and here you'll put 50. Now you can see the allocation. So by Vogel approximation method, I found the initial basic feasible solution. So once we got the initial basic feasible solution, we'll check the answer we get. We'll see the allocation part. Let me just write down the value of the matrix. So the value of the matrix, that was 419. If you see this, this was this is 4, this is 4, then 19, then 22, then 11, then 0, then this is 0, then 0, then 9, 0, then 9, 14, 0, 9, 14, 14, 0, 9, 14, 14, 14, 14, 0. Then after that 6, 6, 16, 14, 6, 6, 16, 14, 6, 6, 16, 14, 0. 6, 6, 4, 4, 16, 14, 0. Correct, right? And then if I talk about allocation, first 4 is 10. Then first 4 is 10. Then 22 is 10. Then 11 is 30. And then 0 is 50. Then 0 is 30. then 6 is 20, then 16 is 50. This is the allocation what we did. We don't know this is optimal or not. We just did this allocation. You can check the degeneracy. How many rows? Five column, 3 rows. There should be 7 allocation. 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 allocations are there. So let me just compare row wise and column wise. So the first column 40, first column 40, second column 20, first column 40, second column 20, third column 60, third column 60, fourth column 30, fifth column 50, first row 100, 80, 100, second row 30, third row 70. Clear, right? So my allocation is appropriate. Now I determine the initial basic feasible solution. I used Vogel approximation method and I determine the initial basic feasible solution. So the initial basic feasible solution, what I determine, I need to check this is ideal or not. So for that I use modified distribution method. So for that, in that I'll find U1, U2, U3, then V1, then V2, V3, V4, V5 value. So we'll find this out of all this U1, U2, U3, V1, V2, V3, V4, V5. We'll put one variable equal to 0. So for then we'll only focus on occupied cell. So we'll only focus on the occupied cells. So for the occupied cell, we use the formula called Cij is equal to Ui plus Vj. And by applying this formula, I'll find the remaining values of U and V. So this would be 4, this would be 22, this would be 11, this would be 0. So this would be -6, this would be 12. 6 is equal to -6 plus x. This would be -4. Clear, right? For occupied cell, use this formula. And with that, you will find U1, U2, U3, V1, V2, V3, V4, V5. Then for non-occupied cell, for unoccupied cell, use the formula Cij minus Ui plus Vj. Now what you do, one by one, focus on unoccupied cell. So the first unoccupied cell is this. So if I see U1 plus V2, that is 0 plus 12, means 12, 19 minus 12, that would be positive. Then this is this cell. This is 12, this is 4. 12 minus 4 is 8, 8 is less than 9. So Cij minus Ui plus Vj, that would be positive. Then 22 minus 4 is 18. 18 is more than 14. So here you are getting negative value. Negative value of negative value you are getting here, guys. Negative value of how much you get? You get here negative value of how much you are getting. 1 minute. You get negative value of -4. So that is your concern. That is now 11 minus 4 is 7. That is more less than 14. Done. Then 0 minus 4 is minus 4. 0 minus minus 4 plus 4. Then 4 minus 6 minus 2. 6 minus minus 2. Positive. 11 minus 6 5. 14 minus 5 positive. 0 minus 6 minus 6. 0 minus minus 6 positive. I hope this part is clear with you. So now what I'll do, I'll create a loop to fix this value because your value cannot be negative. So we'll make a loop. This is plus sign, minus sign, plus sign, minus sign. Okay, so if this is A, then this is B, this is C, this is D. So you can see this A is your theta, then B would be equal to, B is minus sign, so B would be 30 minus theta, then C is plus sign, that would be 10 plus theta, and D would be 10 minus theta. What you need to do out of the allocation, what you have done over the loop, consider the least value of that allocation. So we'll do that. So the least, so consider whatever the values are given, consider that value which is having negative sign with before theta. So that I will take as a theta. So that I take as theta because that's how I need to solve this. So theta value will be equal to 10. So A will be equal to 10, B would be equal to 30 minus 10, 20, C would be equal to 10 plus 10, 20, and D will be equal to 0. So now this is the new allocation. I don't know this is ideal or not. That will only get to know with time. Done everyone. Now we'll focus on unoccupied cell. 4, 19, 22, then 11, 0, 9, 14, 14, 6, 6, 16, 14, and we created additional row here. Okay, anyone, any doubt? Now the allocation, if you see guys, this C will become 20, right? C will become 20, right? C will become 20. The C will become 20. And then this 19 will remain 19. This D will be 0. 11 would be equal to 11, 30 allocation. And 0 would be 50 allocation. Then B would be equal to 20, B 20, then A would be 14, allocation of 14, A is 10. then this is done, then third row 20 50, 20 50. This is the allocation what I did. So this is now after reshuffling the allocation, I got this. I don't know this is ideal or not. Before that, again I need to check it. I'll write U1, U2, U3, then V1, V2, V3, V4, V5. Out of U1, U2, U3, V1, V2, V3, V4, V5. Put put one variable equal to 0. So this would be equal to 6, and then this would be equal to 16. Okay, then this would be equal to -2, and then this would be equal to 2, and then this would be equal to 2. This would be equal to 9. This would be equal to -2. So what we did, now we fully focus on occupied cell. And again, I'm telling you, for focusing on occupied cell, so we use the formula for occupied cell. The formula for occupied cell is Cij is equal to Ui plus Vj. So now one by one, I'll focus on unoccupied cell. So this is 19. So 6 plus 2, 8. 19 minus 8, positive value. 16 plus 2, 18. 22 minus 18, positive 4. Then 6 minus 2 is 4. 9 minus 4 is positive. 9 minus 2, 7. 9 minus 2, 7. Then 9 minus 2, 7. 14 minus 7, positive. One by one we'll do this. Then 0, this is -4. 0 minus 4, positive, plus 4. Then this is 2. So 6 minus 2, 4, positive. Then 9, 14 minus 9, positive. Then this 0 minus 2, minus 2. 0 minus -2 is positive. So you get all positive, guys, for unoccupied cell. Whatever allocation I did, now this for this allocation, all unoccupied cell are giving us the positive value when we do allocation. It means now we got the perfect allocation. What we're looking for, we got that allocation. Clear, right? So for occupied cell, we use this formula. For unoccupied cell, for the unoccupied cell, we use the formula called Cij minus Ui plus Vj. Clear, everyone? Done, everyone? So once we are done with our allocation, so we'll need to put this allocation value in the original matrix. The original matrix was this was your original matrix. So I need to put my allocation value on this matrix. Okay, and then I'll find that my profit and loss. So this is my original matrix. So the allocation what I did, I'll put my allocation on this matrix. So 420, 020, 420, 020. First column 2020. First column, the allocation is 20, 20. This should be 20. This should be 20. Okay. Then 20, 50, 20, 50, 10, 6, 16, 20, 50, 10. This is 20, then this is 50, then this should be 10. So this is that was done. Then 20, 20. Then second columns 20s. Second column, second element, second column. So third row, that is 20 and then followed by 50. 20 followed by 50. 20 followed by 50. Uh, 14, 10, 10, 30, 10, 30, 50. So 10, 30, 50. Then so 14, second row, third element, 10, 10, then 10, 30, 50. So 10, 30, 30, 50. One minute. 50 can be the fifth row, guys, because zero I've added, no, I've added additional, yeah. So it is actually, so just 10, 50, that is in third row, that is in third column. 10, 50, that is in third column. 10, 50. 1 minute, and let me cut and put it here to make more sense. You can see this, this is 20, then 20, then 6. Second row, 19, 10, 20, okay. Third row, 10 and 50, okay. Third row, 10 and 15. Twenty-two, 33. Then we add, then this was C, this is D. then 2020, 2010, 50, and then fourth 1, 2, 3, 4, 11, and 11 is 30. 11 is 30. Okay, and then we have 0, 0, 0. 0 multiply with any number is anyway 0. So I'm not bothered about the allocation of 0. Here, from this I can find my total cost, not the total cost, total profit. That was objective, to determine total profit. That would be 20 into 40 plus 22 plus 33 into 30 plus 44 plus 20 plus 30 into 10 plus 44 into 20, then 30 into 10, then 38 into 20, and then 28 into 50. Do the sum of this. This would be 800. This would be 990. This would be 880. This would be 300. This would be 760. This would be 140. 28 fives are 28 fives are is 140. This is 28 into 50, 1400. So you do this, you'll get the total profit. This is 800 plus 990 plus 880 plus 300 plus 760 plus 1400. 9817 plus 623. 2 carry 10, 19, 28, 31, 38, 42, 5230. Clear? Anyone, any doubt? This 17, 23, 2 carry 10, 19, 27, 30, 37, 41, 41, 41. This would be your answer. Clear? Anyone, any doubt? So this would be your final answer. The dummy column what I created, they had value 0, 0, 0. I have not included it because 0 multiply with any number is 0. So this nothing can be more difficult than this from this chapter called transportation problem, where we did unbalanced maximization case in the case of transportation problem. So this much from the today class. Okay, I'll end the class. Thank you everyone. I'll see you all tomorrow. Thank you everyone.